have such a great facility here. The principal, members of the faculty, parents, and my dear children. Till I came here, I did not know that such a beautiful world has been created here by Sri Narasimhamurthy. I have known him for quite a long time now, but that acquaintance was in a different incarnation earlier. After some time, after a fairly long hiatus, he met me the other day to invite me for this program. I was still thinking that he was doing something else, not in the field of education. But then when he said that he has created this and showed me the brochure, that was impressive enough. But today what I am seeing here far exceeds that expectation, what I had seen at that time. Principal's report has given a lot of insight into what is happening here, how this education institution has blossomed into a great place where so many young minds are getting nurtured. And it's really heartening for me to see the way they have been excelling. I am very sure that they'll enter the world as very confident citizens and into that further education also. To speak, I did not know what to pick up and speak when I came here, but on the way and here and from the dais, whatever has been spoken about Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, perhaps that could be the starting point. I was one of those in Hyderabad, probably many of us know him fairly well. I was one of those who had the privilege of having interacted with him constantly for nearly 3 decades now. My first interaction with him was when he was a scientist in DRDO way back in 1987, when I had been kept in charge of a program when Sri Rajiv Gandhi came to inaugurate a facility called RCI, Research Center Imarat, in defense facilities in our city. That particular project had been conceived and developed by Dr. Kalam. For several days and every day, we kept meeting as to how to make that program that time. Since then, whenever he is in city or whenever I go outside, I have been meeting him. 15 to 20 times I would have met him so far. Each meeting, exchange of ideas, knowing many things about his mind and the way he thinks has always been very exhilarating and very, very inspiring. I was very happy when some visuals were shown here, and it was also told to me just a few days back, several students from here had gone and met him. He is a great inspiration for the students. I always believe, perhaps as Indians, we did great disservice to this country by not getting him as president for a second term. Imagine in the first 5 years he could do so much. In another 5 years, how many young minds he could have ignited and what a difference it would have made to their lives and to the nation. I'll just pick up some of the ideas from there, juxtapose them with some of the other great minds, and then leave those thoughts to you for thinking. Some of them intended for the children, but most of them are intended for the teachers and the parents. If we can handle them properly as parents and teachers, I'm very sure that our children definitely would come up very well in life, not just in materialistic way, in many other ways. I'll pick up Einstein first. I keep reading biographies. Biographies, I always have believed, teach you quite a lot. If somebody is writing a biography on somebody else, or somebody writes about his own life in the form of an autobiography, we consider that life to be great. There is something to be learned, to be known about that particular personality. Then only a biography gets written. Einstein's biography, I had read it, and another version came a few years back. I read that version also. There are a lot of simple instances from his life that find place in these books. When it comes to the field of education, two of them which I can readily recall. One of them was when he went to his class. See, mind you, he was a great mathematician, physicist, and then when he went to, he kept on teaching. Even after getting Nobel Prize, he did not divorce himself from the teaching profession. He was very, very passionate about teaching. He went to his class as usual. That day he administered a test in physics to his students. One of the bright students, he got up and said, "Sir, there is something wrong with this." He said, "What is it?" The student said, "This is the same paper that you had given last time for a test. Perhaps you have forgotten and you are giving the same paper." To which, in a very matter-of-fact way, Einstein had said, "Yes, I know, I am giving you the same paper, but this time I am expecting drastically different answers." This is in the field of physics, where a lot of concepts, postulates, principles that have been pronounced, we think that they are etched in stone and they remain like that till eternity. He was insisting the students to think, be original, and then go beyond what they have known and keep on evolving and changing with time. This type of originality is what we have to get into the minds of the students. I can tell you, because I am a bureaucrat, perhaps I'll pick up one example. 3-4 decades back, when we got into the services, yes, there are 2 optionals and general studies, essay, a lot of papers were there. It was difficult enough at that time also to get into IAS and IPS. But I was seeing the papers recently, last year, this year papers. Overwhelmingly, general studies is the dominant topic. You take it from me, unless a student is very, very original, he has that thinking capacity, accumulate a lot of knowledge, analytical abilities over a long period of time, he can just not get in. No study circle, no amount of coaching can get a student into this. Those days are gone when we used to just prepare in 2 subjects and get through civil services. This is what is happening in every field of activity. Unless somebody is original, somebody has an idea in his mind, he cannot succeed in life. This is what the teachers, the parents have to think about. Stop pushing students only to learn, accumulate information, reproduce, and then become big in life. It is just not possible. In the modern day world, it is not possible. You take anybody who has made big, whether it be Steve Jobs or Bill Gates or any one of them, they are not there in those positions for their academic excellence. They are there because they know how to think originally, how to take that idea forward. Same great man, Einstein, there is another small anecdote from him, the passion for teaching. This is intended for the teachers. For the love of teaching, to what extent this great man had gone. See, when he was in that university, Princeton, by then already a Nobel laureate, a small girl, age about 5 years, daughter of a driver in the university, she went to him with the intent to learn mathematics. Every evening he would spend about 1 hour with her, keep teaching the basic elements of arithmetic. When her father came to know what this child was doing, he was very, very embarrassed. He went to Einstein and said, I never thought she was coming and doing this sort of a thing. I'm sorry for what she has been doing. To which Einstein had said, see, how many students are there who are willing to part all their pocket money? She was getting about 20 or 30 cents a month to learn mathematics at that particular age. This girl used to come and put that 10, 15 cents into my hand and then learn mathematics from me. These days, when most of the teachers, when we are coming here, we were discussing the difference between teachers of our generation and teachers of present day, where a lot of academics have come into the profession of teaching. That passion a teacher has to identify a student and then just teach that student for the love of teaching, for the passion of teaching, teachers would have discharged their duty in a very great way. The other one, let us not think that we are turning every child into a great person through our efforts. Every child, this message that has been given by Dr. Kalam, I am born with potential, I am born with confidence, I am born with a lot of capabilities, and I am born not to crawl but to soar and fly high, is a great message. It's a great message. Unfortunately, we don't get into the essence of this when we handle our children. We think that I have handled my child so well that he has become this. We never try to get into his mind and then try to see him as a person with potential. We have the National Police Academy here. Two of us are here, IPS officers, me and we have a DIG, Mr. Satyanarayana from Uttar Pradesh, sitting in front of me. Every day we enter that National Police Academy, we used to see one rough granite rock that has been kept there. The quotation underneath that was very, very interesting. This quotation is a conversation between Leonardo da Vinci, a great painter, sculptor. He was also an engineer, many other skills he had of the Renaissance period in Italy. The conversation was between him and his friend. His friend asked Leonardo da Vinci, how is it that you make such beautiful statues out of such rough rocks? To which Michelangelo had said, what am I doing? There is already a beautiful statue hidden in that rock. All that I do is pick up the chisel and chisel here and there and bring that shape out. That is all that I am doing. This, though some of us have known this, but we fail to realize this when we handle our children. We don't look at the potentialities, the capabilities that a child has. Try to mold every one of them into a particular aspect. In fact, while coming here, Mrs. Radhika, your mathematics teacher, escorted me from my residence. We were discussing how every one of us are trying to put our children into engineering, medicine, nothing else, as if nothing else exists in this world. Why are we not trying to realize what the child is interested in and put that child into that particular subject? The insecurities of our age, only 4 or 5 professions used to be the prime professions in those days. That is gone now. Hundreds of new fields have opened up. A child has to just excel in whatever area that child has the passion, talent and interest. Such an atmosphere, if a teacher and a student can create here, the parents can create here, you would have done a great, great service to the future of the children. 2 other ideas that I would like to put before you. While emphasizing on academics, let us not forget about the finer aspects of life and character building. In Telugu, if I have to say, we always equate education with Vidya Buddhulu. We never say Vidya alone. Vidya also has a much bigger meaning. It's not just academics. Academics plus a lot of other things make education. Along with education, character molding also goes with it. That's why those two go as Dvanda Padal. They go together. Vidya Buddhulu. Unfortunately, we are emphasizing so much on academics these days, we are forgetting everything else about the character building of the child. I'll give you one small anecdote. If we can get such finer feelings into those children, how much of capital we would have given them to excel in lives. You see, a few years back, there were Olympics that were held. These were not the normal Olympics, the special Olympics, what we call the Para-Olympics, where a lot of physically challenged athletes, the children, they participate in those events, normally conducted immediately after the main Olympics. They were conducted in Seattle a few years back. In that, as it happens in any tournament, the last item was the 100-meter dash, because that's the most exciting, and then speed, everything comes into that. And that's the one that normally is chosen as the last item. It was chosen. Whole stadium was packed, lot of dignitaries and audience. It was packed with all people. The athletes who had lined up at the starting point, somebody was afflicted with Down syndrome, somebody was lame, somebody was totally mentally retarded. Everybody had some affliction of that nature. All of them were lined up, and at the shooting of that pistol, get set, go, they start running. After going a few paces, one boy who was afflicted with Down syndrome, he trips and falls. After falling, he starts crying for two reasons. One is the agony of physical pain. Second is the pain that he is not able to participate in the competition any longer. The other 5-6 would have progressed ahead. One girl who noticed what was happening behind, she stopped in her tracks, started walking back to this boy, lifted him up, and then started walking forward. Meanwhile, the 5 others who had gone much ahead, they looked back what was happening. They walked back to this point, lifted this person, this boy who had fallen initially, and all of them triumphantly marched to the finishing line. Touching the finishing line at the same time, the judge did not have any other option than to declare all of them as the winners, because all of them touched the finishing line at the same time. When we are talking so much of competition in the world, competition would mean what? It's a rat race that is going on. All of us keep moving, marching forward. Somebody falls down in that melee, we trample over him and then go ahead, without looking back to what is happening at him. At what cost we are achieving success? Why are we doing? We never see in those ethical ways at all. Success at any cost. Success not by ethical means, success at any cost has been the byword of the present day society. This is what we have been inculcating, this is what we have been teaching to our youngsters. Teachers have been doing it, parents have been doing it, the whole society has been doing it. At the end of that, when bad things happen in society, we keep lamenting that society has gone to dogs, or that child has gone bad. How much of pressure we are putting just to excel, just to succeed in life, we don't look at that. Just think over on that point. The last one another example I'll leave to you for thinking, to the parents and the teachers. Just think about it and see whether we can do anything in that particular way. See, this is a conversation between a pencil and a pencil maker. Pencil and a pencil maker in a pencil factory. A pencil maker has made a very fine pencil, and now before putting it in the box and sending it into the world, he is conversing with it. He says, look, I have put lot of effort, I have paid lot of attention to make you into one of the finest pencils, and then I am sending you into the world. But before sending you into the world, I want to tell you a few things. Please remember these 5 things he tells him, tells the pencil. Remember these 5 things and try to follow. You will be the best pencil ever in this world. Just change. A pencil maker think that this is institution, head of the institution, principal or the teachers. The pencil is a student. The conversation that goes on between the pencil maker and pencil is, look, you remember when you go into the world, you may have to write on a rough surface, smooth surface. Regardless of what surface you are writing, please continue to write. Do not stop. This is advice number 1 that is given. Second one, it says, the most important part of you, that is a pencil, is inside you, not outside. There could be a wooden covering, there could be a beautiful color, design on that, everything. But the only useful part of the pencil is inside, the lead. So always remember, the best part is inside you, not the externalities that surround you. This is one thing that you should remember. Third one is, to be useful, to write very well, you will have to undergo the process of sharpening frequently. Sharpening will cause lot of excruciating pain, lot of pain it causes. But then, unless that sharpening takes place, the pencil will be no use and it cannot write properly. The other one is, you require to be handled well. Many youngsters think that they have arrived, they are independent, they don't require any counsel, any advice of the parents or anybody outside. This is also not correct. There is a role for elders in society, there is a role for mentors in the lives of the youngsters. An youngster has to realize that. That's why this pencil maker tells the pencil, you will be useful only when you have a handler. At that particular stage, you cannot do on your own. The last one that he tells is far more important. When you have written something, when you realize what you have written is not apt, appropriate, or something wrong that you have written, please do not hesitate to get erased. Erase and write again. Do not continue the same mistake out of ego, out of profanity, out of arrogance, and then say that yes, this is the way I am going, this is the way I would go. That's why never feel ashamed, never feel embarrassed, never feel diffident to erase what you have written and then write again. These are the 5 points that are given by the pencil maker to the pencil. I wish every teacher inculcates this thing into a student before he sends him into the world. If we can do this as elders, as parents, as teachers, we would have performed our own role towards the future of our youngsters. I wish and hope every one of us do it, and all the students here would be having much better lives if we can do that. These are some stray thoughts that I thought I would put before you today for your thinking and for the betterment of the youngsters here. I'm really happy that I could come and become part of this. Though I said I'll be here exactly for 1 hour, I don't mind sitting for another half an hour because next program is cancelled. And I'm really impressed with the beautiful facility that Sri Murthy has created here. I'm sure that this will grow much bigger, not merely as a physical facility. Ultimately, the identity for this institution is going to be how well placed in different walks of life the students who walk out of the portals of this institution. I wish that happens. I wish all the youngsters here great future. Thank you.
वर्षों से हमारी पाठशाला कार्यरत है। प्रतिवर्ष कई प्रकार की प्रतियोगिताओं में प्रतिभागी होते हैं। हर समय जीत पाना संभव नहीं होता, परंतु हार सफलता की पहली सीढ़ी होती है। इसी जज्बे के साथ वर्ष 2013-14 में भी हमारे छात्रों ने अपनी प्रतिभा का प्रदर्शन किया। उनको अब पुरस्कार देकर सम्मानित किया जाएगा। जोरदार तालियां होनी चाहिए इन जाबाज खिलाड़ियों के लिए।